Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to another session of Indian Economy Essentials. In today's video, let's have a look at what is this concept of social stock exchange. Now, before I start the discussion, one very important announcement. Starting 1st of March 2023, we are happy to announce that we'll be launching the Target Prelims Initiative 2023. This initiative will be very holistic, very comprehensive. There are three very important components of this initiative. One, starting 1st of March 2023, we will have strategy sessions subject-wise on YouTube live. Then we will follow it up with coverage of more than 400 important topics for civil service examination discussed on the app. Then we will follow this up with a discussion of more than 600 MCQs covering previous year questions, again live on YouTube. Now, to avail all these three initiatives, what you need to do? Simply three things. One, subscribe to our BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS YouTube channel. Second, join the Telegram channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. And third, as usual, basically download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app and install and watch these videos. Now, with this caveat, let me start the discussion with the concept of social stock exchange. Now, before I start, some of you will be asking me a question. Sir, why should I read it? Was it relevant? Has it come in any newspaper in recent times? The answer to this question is yes. Very recently, Securities Exchange Board of India, SEBI, has given the final approval for National Stock Exchange to launch the Social Stock Exchange. Now, some of you will say, sir, National Stock Exchange, Social Stock Exchange. Confusing. Don't worry, we'll have a discussion. Is the NSE the first one to get the approval for Social Stock Exchange? Of course, no. Last year, in the month of December, SEBI has already given the approval for Bombay Stock Exchange as well to launch Social Stock Exchange. Now, what is this idea of a Social Stock Exchange? Why it is relevant? Let's try and understand this. I'm pretty sure all of you know that there are a lot of charitable organizations in India. Rather than using the term charitable organizations, I'll simply use non-profit organization terminology. So there are a lot of non-profit organizations and for-profit enterprises which are functioning in India. But one of the problems that all these actually face is accessibility to funds. Any charitable organization that you can think of, one problem they generally face is they will not be able to generate sufficient amount of money or let's say funds to achieve whatever objectives they want to achieve. In order to help all these institutions or let's say organizations, SEBI now has introduced the concept of social stock exchange. But to be very precise here, this is not a very novel concept in the global market. Already many countries, for example, UK, Canada, Singapore, South Africa and Brazil already have this idea of a social stock exchange. But in case of India, the concept of SSE, I'll start using the short form. Understand. The concept of social stock exchange for the first time was announced by the finance minister in the budget for the year 2019-2020. Later, SEBI set up a technical group, working group, and based on the recommendations, last year finally came out with guidelines. And now, NSE as well as BSE have been given the final approval to establish social stock exchanges. Now, in the context of SSE, you'll have to remember the name of the committee here. The committee was headed by Mr. Balasubramaniam, and this committee recommended the framework that we should follow for social stock exchange. Now, what is this idea of a SSE? Let me explain it. Imagine there is an investor in the market. The investor, or let's say a philanthropist, they want to give money to a charitable organization. But now the concern for the philanthropist or the donor is that if I hand over the money, if I donate the money, how do I make sure that this agency, or let's say this charitable organization, will use the funds appropriately? What if they misuse the funds? Right? So there is always this argument that we will contribute, we will donate, but how to ensure that these agencies or these organizations are using the funds efficiently? That is one. And second one, as already mentioned, the problem with these organizations is that they find it very difficult to find the donors, raise the funds. And that is what will be addressed with the model of the exchange here. Now, point number one, social stock exchanges will not be functioning as any new entities. These will be part of existing exchanges in India. For example, we have Bombay Stock Exchange. Within the Bombay Stock Exchange itself, there will be one more segment that is called as Social Stock Exchange. And we have a National Stock Exchange, NSE. And within NSE, there will be one more segment that is SSE now. Point number one. Point number two. Now, these social stock exchanges will allow for the NPOs as well as FPEs to be registered on them. And these NPOs and FPEs will be issuing or will be basically selling lot of instruments in the market. Lot of instruments or securities will be sold by them in the market. For example, you will come across a very famous term now, zero coupon, zero principal bond. I'll come to this. Just give me some time. Zero coupon, zero principal, or social venture funds, SVF, or even mutual funds. These are some of the securities that could be issued by non-profitable organizations or for-profit enterprises, which will be purchased by the donors, or let's say the investors or philanthropists, and now the funds will be transferred into these organizations, and now these funds can be utilized for whatever purposes these have been raised. Now many of you simply ask me, sir, how do we ensure that the funds are used for the right purpose? That's the reason there are a lot of guidelines for usage as well as disclosure of usage of the funds. Right? Annually, the amount that has been raised, has been utilized, etc. All these disclosures, audit reports have to be submitted by these organizations which are using the exchange to raise funds in the market. And this is the basic idea of a social stock exchange. Now next, if any enterprise here, that is let's say a non-profit organization, wants to raise funds from this market, how much funds can be raised? Minimum how much money can be raised? Minimum amount of subscription that these will have to basically use to raise the money from the market is 1 crore rupees. Minimum amount that they can raise at one time is 1 crore rupees. And if anybody wants to purchase these instruments, how much should be the minimum amount of purchasing then? The minimum amount of application has to be at least 2 lakh rupees. Please remember this, has to be at least 2 lakh rupees. Next point, as per SEBI, these are the different purposes for which these funds can be raised and used. Please have a glance, do not by heart, the list is very lengthy, you may not be able to remember all of them. More than 10 types of purposes have been listed by SEBI. Please have a glance, can be asked in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Now coming to the point here, I said the social stock exchanges, in that these organizations can issue instruments such as zero coupon, zero principal bonds. Now what do you mean by zero coupon, zero principal bonds? Logic is very simple here. Whenever you invest in a bond, the bond will offer certain interest rate to you. Now rather than using the term interest rate, we simply use the term coupon rate. Right? The term that is used is coupon rate. Now here is the point. If the bond does not offer any interest rate to you, these bonds are referred to as zero coupon bonds. Zero coupon bonds. Any example of a zero coupon bond? Best example is the treasury bills which are issued by the government follow the idea follow the idea of zero coupon instrument. That is, these bonds, whenever they are issued, or these instruments, whenever they are issued at a discount, redeemed at the face value, that is, the face value of the bond is 100, you will get 100. So there is no coupon calculated on the face value, hence these are called as zero coupon instrument. Best example of a zero coupon instrument, like already mentioned, is the treasury bills of the government, central government or union government, by the way. So whenever the instruments do not offer any interest or any coupon, these are called as zero coupon bonds. Now you are doing a charity. You are basically a philanthropist. You are doing a charity work here. Would you want to earn money on it? Of course no. That's the reason these instruments are allowed to be issued. Zero coupon bonds. But there is one more term, zero principal. What is the zero principal? In case of charity, please understand this. You will give, let's say, 100 rupees. You will not collect it back. I hope you understand this. You will give 100 rupees as a donation. You will not collect it back. Forget about interest. You will not collect the principal amount itself. That is the reason, because the funds are flowing directly from the investor in the bond, or let's say the donor, for any specific usage, and the money will not be returned. These are also referred to as zero principal bonds. Zero principal bonds. Zero coupon, zero principal. Right? These are the types of instruments which the NPOs as well as FPEs are allowed to issue. One type of instrument. Now apart from this, SEBI also says either you can go for a public issue, right, where individuals, retail investors can invest or become donors here, or you can go for a private placement as well. That is, rather than selling it to a public, you are selling it to tightly, right, let's say a very, very small group of investors, tightly packed investor group like this. That is called as a private placement. That is also allowed. Next very important point. If you make an investment, if you become a donor here, will you have any kind of an advantage? Will you get any kind of a tax benefit? Please remember, answer is yes. Right? Government says, that is SEBI says, if you make an investment under this, you can claim it as a tax break under section 80G of Income Tax Act. And if it is a company which has made an investment under this, they can claim this as a part of CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility investment. So these are certain very, very important aspects related to the idea of a social stock exchange, which has been allowed to be set up, or final approval has been provided by SEBI to National Stock Exchange now. If you like the initiatives that we have launched, please hit the like button. Provide your valuable comments in the section below. And if you yet to subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS YouTube channel, kindly do it now. Thank you. Have a great day.